This video is sponsored by Capcom. Capcom know what they're doing when it comes to fighting games. They've been doing it a long old time. Me, I've never really personally been any good at fighting games, but that doesn't stop me enjoying them. I've always really enjoyed how different each character looks and feels when doing the same actions, how their personality comes through in their movements. I'm an animator and an animation lecturer, so I do a lot of walk cycles. And I thought that'd be a good way to kind of frame this video and look at this collection. So let's take a look at some, shall we? Capcom Fighting Collection 2 itself is good. It looks great. You've got 8 games with loads of options and online play, ways of viewing the art, various modes. It's great if you just love pulling apart the games and just enjoying all the stuff around it. I was thinking of a way to frame this video and I settled on an idea. Only to have it thrown out the window when I came across a particular character, but I'll get to that. So let me walk you through my process. I thought I'd look at an array of characters across all these games and draw a comparison between their walk cycles. Because if there's one thing you want your characters in a fighting game to have, it's a personality. I mean, you could say that for any animated character, sure. I thought I'd go through each game, do some walking, do some punching, see if I could identify an element of personality within those same moves across different characters in different games. At the end of the video, I'll also highlight some of my favourite little tidbits I noticed whilst researching as well. I found that this strafing, skipping move is quite common among characters who are ready to fight, eager to get going, professional, or at least they know what they're supposed to be doing and how to compose themselves and what footwork to use in a fist fight. As far as my research goes, this is an exaggerated form of a step drag, which is common in boxing and other types of professional fighting. It's a stance that works with balance, allowing you to be able to widely move your torso and dodge attacks. This fist is in front, allowing you for a quick jab, and this fist is back, allowing for a slower but stronger punch with some anticipation. This differs to Zangief, who walks normally, so to speak, with feet overtaking each other. This is because Zangief is a wrestler, which means he's much more open to grappling attacks than Ryu, who's out to get punches in and be quick and mobile. Zangief is slow and grounded, making a performance of his movement due to his wrestling persona. I really like Dalsim. The way his legs cross over is really subtle and weird. I love it. This probably reflects his relationship to yoga, being bendy and loose and squashy. The forwards and backwards animations almost look the same, but they're so subtly different, they both have a slight lean into their respective directions. I love King's footwork, the kind of shifting foot slide. I love how it lines up with the idle stance, this kind of praying mantis sort of pose. I love this kind of unusual movement that Iori has, if I've pronounced that right. These undulating, gesturing hands during the forward and back movement. Rugal's got a fierce, confident walk, which oddly enough has the same animation in reverse when you walk backwards. And the way he punches is fantastic. There's this kind of forward slice, which is so fast but has all the information there, and this bigger, slower one which has this massive twist in the middle of the body, and the tails of his coat flicking up as a follow through. Proper exciting action, like really exaggerated and kind of just what you need in a fighting game to make these poses read clearly. As Mariel Cartwright always says, you don't necessarily see it, but you feel it in the action. Also, just a quick note on this stage's interactive stage elements with these water splashes with the movement. It's really nice, even when you're walking, when you're attacking, it just really adds that extra bit of immersiveness. Really like it. Just want to break down Athena's punches here. They're so fast, but if you go through frame by frame, you can absolutely see the reference that has informed this movement. This is almost like a dance move, I love it. I'm a big advocate for reference. I think if you're ever basing anything, any animation on a move, it's always better to be informed by how it actually moves in real life, because then that will lend believability to your animation. Not necessarily realism, but believability, which I think is an important difference to make. Felicia's movement is absolutely brilliant. She's part cat, part woman, and this is very nicely reflected in her movement. I mean, her forward motion has this hunched over sneaking appeal. It feels very pantomime, like you're doing a performance of Pink Panther or something. She even does this little mew or a purr within it. It's bloody fantastic. I'm surprised how little the tail seems to pop between animations. I'd have thought it would have been quite difficult to keep such a constantly moving element like that looking consistent, but it seems to work. I've realised I love the design of Darkstalker's characters. I might have to do a video just on those one day. That brings me over to Morrigan, who simply hovers over the floor. knee slightly bent forward when moving that way, and slightly dragging when going backwards. She holds her hands upright, ready to attack and cast. It's just these subtle differences which can add that extra layer of readability to a particular move, just offsetting balance. That's a key thing when thinking about video game animations, is where the balance is being centered on a character. Again, which lends to the believability and appeal of the motion. The Power Stone games have a slightly different approach, with characters running around the arena and picking up items to throw. Kind of like Super Smash Bros, I suppose. The stopping animations are nice, if a little over the top, especially if you don't really run all that fast. It has that same stopping animation. There's no popping though, which is good. This character, Jack, has a crazy good movement cycle. I mean, look at that. And the transition from moving to idle is nice and smooth. It's appropriately creepy and uncomfortable to look at. Rouge's idle stance is interesting. Don't see many characters balancing on one leg. The run to idle is also nicely done, though I find the idle to run transition to be a bit poppy, but it's no biggie. This character Pete is quite funny. The way he moves is quite juvenile, which matches, I assume, his age and personality. I can actually see where Jensing's inspiration come from here, the character from Indivisible. I love the way Pete jumps when you sort of move forward. There's this little somersault and it's really daft and funny. I love it. Alright, please let me talk about Wackier quickly, if that's how you pronounce it. This is awesome. I did a bit of research onto what he was supposed to be, like a swimming instructor, you know? But nah, he just fights in an original style based on swimming. That's so weird and awesome. I want more stuff like this. Give me all the fighting moves based on other things. It makes me think of multiverses and how they handle the attacks there. Oh, how can I forget this dinosaur dude from the Red Earth selection of characters? This is just amazing. Why don't I play fighting games more often? This little arm attack is so cute and funny. Like, this is seriously great, and that's not even taking into account the actual technical skill of making sprite animations look this good to begin with. But that's Capcom and SNK for you. They were the masters of this stuff. Okay, so this is the character that broke my stride initially when doing this walk cycle research. I found Hauser and Wackier later on, still weird, wonderful and wacky, but I just got to talk about this guy. It's Chang. He's from the King of Fighters series, so he's on the SNK side. Oh, I made a whole video about the Sonic Advance games which comprised of ex-SNK developers, so that's why those games look so good. Check it out here. Chang is a massive character with this massive ball and chain on him, and this little dude here. This is what I love about crossover games like this. There's going to be tons of Easter eggs and other lore things that don't make any sense unless you know the character or the series they're from. So I don't know who this little dude is. I could research it, but I find it funnier not knowing. Just this little kind of Freddy Krueger type guy hanging around. There's just something about the weight of his walking motion which is great. I love it. The way his knees bend beneath his body, you can properly feel the weight of that massive iron ball he carries. The way he twists to readjust his centre of gravity, his face reflecting the amount of effort he's putting into simply moving is really expressive, like his mouth is clearly showing a sort of painful gasp as he lunges forward. And equally, when he moves backwards, you can see him closing his eyes as though straining to remain upright and letting out controlled breaths. I'll tell you what it reminds me of actually, it's those strong men in The World's Strongest Man lifting Atlas stones. I mean, that would be a great reference for some movement like this. His short punch attack is this sort of ungainly shove because he's focusing on keeping his iron ball steady. This is probably all he can feasibly manage. So when it comes to using a slightly heavier attack using the iron ball, you really feel it. I mean, look at how quickly that heavy thing whips back on its chain at his hand. It's the little details as well, such as him grabbing the ball again with his other hand to get it back onto his shoulder. I love the belly and the bum attack. It kind of rounds this character off into a more comical one, which is kind of nice. I think it feeds into the ridiculousness of it all. I mean, this failed special attack speaks to this idea 100%. There's a couple of other actions that just highlight this character's strength and the weight of the ball, like flailing it around his head and crouching and attacking. Chang is my favourite easily. I think this is one of my favourite things about fighting games when you have a roster of characters, is the diversity of character designs, the shape language, the poses, the expressions. It's great, and I just want to see more of this stuff from the range. It's absolutely great. A couple of other points I love is the movement cycle of this character, Vice. Look at the way her head rolls around as she moves back. So confident and using this little time of walking to further prepare for fighting. It's almost a bit arrogant, you know, kind of like, yeah, I know, I got this. I like the way the boards wobble in this stage. Nice little bit of contextual animation. I love how characters will move their head to look at the opponent in the Power Stone games. Adds that little bit of immersiveness to it. I love how the 3D animations match almost perfectly to the 2D stylings. It just hits so well. I love this character. Like, this is such a brilliant, confusing mess, but not necessarily incoherent. It makes for fascinating viewing when moving. And just a massive shout out to the actual art and design of all these characters. Like, they're all so unique and expressive. So that's it for this short one today. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is out now on PS4, Switch, Steam and Xbox One. My next video is going to be about fixing Toxic Seahorse from Mega Man X3, so keep a lookout for that. And I'll also touch on my refreshed Patreon page in that video as well, so keep a lookout.